Who are you?
I'm Rey.
Rey who?
Rey Skywalker.
Yo. In the last 4 years, Disney and Lucasfilm have gotten some serious flack for the direction they took Star Wars in, mainly due to the sequel trilogy and how it has angered the Star Wars fandom. Being a Star Wars fan, I also was not a huge fan of the sequel trilogy and the direction they took the storytelling or misuse of characters. Let's get into why you clicked on this video. Here are 11 wasted potential for the sequel trilogy. The story. Force Awakens started off okay, although not so great and basically a carbon copy of A New Hope. It had a good title, but it's been 30 years after the Empire fell and there's still a need for a rebel alliance. Then came The Last Jedi, and everything that happened in the previous movie was thrown out the window. No consistency, a huge misunderstanding of how physics and the Force work in general. Rise of Skywalker. I'm sorry. This is a horrible title, especially for how it turned out. Everything about this movie said pandering, and we're desperately trying to fix what The Last Jedi did, while not progressing with the story. I'm just going to list the rest and you'll understand. The original cast. Han, Leia, Luke, Chewbacca, and Lando. All misused for the promotion of these movies. They should have been legends at this point, retired and or in the background so that the new cast can have the limelight. Nope. Let's just ruin legacy characters for the sake of subverting expectations. Is it just me, or does everyone else feel bad for how Chewbacca is treated in every iteration of the movies? They never let him play a prominent role and always second fiddle to Han. And now even the new cast? Leia? As I stated before, why is there still a need for a rebel alliance? The Empire is no more. People are free to create new galactic republic. Leia should have been the commander of the New Republic forces, but nah, she still needs to fight the good fight against no one. To be very honest, she should have died here. It should have made way more sense as to why Kylo would do this.
And now, foolish child, he ignites it and kills his true enemy.
Luke. Boy, they flipped his character into a shell of what he was. Luke was optimistic, accepting, and not a coward, but instead, they turned him into some kind of senile old kook who's uncompromising. Lando got shafted into playing his role in Return of the Jedi again. I feel like Han was the only original cast member that sort of got some good representation. Even though it made no sense for him to return to being a hustler at his age, he played a pivotal role for his son's arc. The Knights of Ren. Why? Why were they even a thing? They kept hinting at them being such badasses and the main enforcers of Snoke's will, and to get nothing but this short fight scene at the end of Rise of Skywalker. The Knights of Ren to Kylo Ren were to be the bounty hunters in Empire Strikes Back to Vader. General Hux. He was so promising in Force Awakens, being the rival to Kylo Ren for second in command of Supreme Leader Snoke. Being that he was not a Force sensitive, it was refreshing to see a regular person who would command such presence as a villain and denying the use of Ben Solo. Then came Last Jedi, and he was turned into a goddamn joke, and it was so predictable that he became the mole in Rise of Skywalker. Such a waste. Captain Phasma. Again, why? So much potential for a great antagonist wasted. Captain Phasma is the commander of the First Order troopers, and the fact that she was a woman made her sort of a mother figure to them. The perfect antithesis for Finn and his struggles or decisions to desert the First Order. Why make a comic run for her backstory if you're going to ruin her in one movie with no development? Supreme Leader Snoke. This would have been the best opportunity to bring in a character with knowledge of the Outer Rim. Someone who trumps the terror of Darth Sidious, and who probably could have been a great reference to characters like Darth Plagueis. Why hype him up to be all-powerful, but cut him short again to subvert expectations? Last but not least, Finn. As we've seen already, many Star Wars fans believe Finn had the most potential to be a great character, but was sidelined for identity politics. We've seen enough hotshot pilots, we've seen enough orphans from desert planets, but we've never seen a stormtrooper deserting his programming and reclaiming his individuality. When we saw this advertisement and this advertisement, most of us were super excited because we've never seen anything like this before. A stormtrooper turned force wielder / Jedi? Sign me the hell up. Even if he didn't turn out to be a Jedi, they could have turned him into something of an outcast, like a gunslinging force wielder. Not to mention his arc would have been awesome, given the unique relationship he had with Captain Phasma, and spanned it throughout all 3 movies. They could have opened the gateway to show that the Force works in many ways and does not discriminate between life forms. They could have avoided the Mary sewage we got with Rey and created the Force diet in Episode 9, due to the growing relationship Finn and Rey developed over the years of fighting with the Resistance. Their friendship could have won over Kylo Ren, who was struggling with his decision that alienated him from his family, causing their death, and won over Captain Phasma because FN-2187 was no longer her brainwashed child soldier, but a child of hers who grew out of her grasp and warped her reality. In the end, all 4 could have come together by the 3rd movie and took on Snoke for the fate of the galaxy. What's done is done, and there is nothing we can rectify for the damage that has been inflicted in Star Wars. Contrary to anyone's belief, I had no issues with the prequels, and they had the best lightsaber dueling scenes. Hopefully now, with the new direction taking place in Lucasfilm, Star Wars can be reverted back. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and if you liked what you saw and heard, feel free to leave a like and subscribe for similar content coming in the future. Peace.